I don't think there's free will. I'm very, very sure about that, but that could be dangerous because if you're too confident, it could be a mistake. But that might point the same thinking that there is no free will. If you are convinced that you have a free will, I tend to think that's your ego. If there's anything which is close to free will, but absolute, it is the law of nature, the will of the universe. I'm fairly confident because I believe we were born not because of our will, but the will of nature. How can anyone argue to that? But you can create God and have certain characters in God. But I shouldn't go there because this is not about the religion. But there could be a connection to it. But the first thought is that if you think there's free will, you may not know yourself. I hate to say something like that because I want to be tender and compassionate. So I don't want to say straightforward. But I felt confident too when I saw like a Sapolsky. I'm sure I mentioned this in my video a few years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. That's my guess. Or maybe when I found him, his lecture series at Stanford, Human Biology, I guess is the name of the class. If I'm not making a mistake. And it's wonderful that you can take the course. That's very famous at Stanford. I was at Stanford, but not in that direction, but at the business school. So business is so far away to this discussion, but I guess it's because of my interest in knowing myself, and that relate to how I function, sometimes stupid or many times stupid, and then why. If you have a true free will and that is nature's way, you may not be as stupid as we can be. Because nature has a magical power of creating us to be alive. I don't want to use the word worship, but they kind of feel like it. But maybe I'm drifting away. Worship makes sense, especially when it comes to Shin Buddhism and finding a person who lived in Japan, Myokonin, many of them, often laymen, down to earth, not the high ranking in the society. And they are perhaps feeling handicapped that they cannot do things. So what's the way to be liberated? That's when they found the compassion of Amida. And saying is that if you say Nam Amida Butsu, that means you throw yourself into the hand of Amida. Amida will help you because of the compassion. Not the intelligence. And this is one thing I should perhaps look into more carefully, because I'm working on the ASH, Artificial Super Heart. I'm working with, right now, 4 AIs, Gemini, GPT, DeepSeek, and the Cloud. Maybe my pronunciation is not right. Heart at the center. From the heart is the expression of magical power that we are here, that miracle sense, which also creates that intelligence, but also the compassion, wisdom and compassion. Can you deny that we have wisdom or compassion? Not always, but it may pop up, and isn't that the time when we appreciate that? I don't call that as human free will, because human has this handicap of eating the fruit of knowledge, and it occupies so much in our mind, and it may be good, but it can also hallucinate, deluded, egocentric, desire, aversion, ignorance. And if you want to call you have free will, I want to call that you have the source of delusion. Rather than the free will. If you have a free will, why don't you just be happy? Can you? And be wise and be compassionate. It's not that simple. So my argument about the free will is that because of the way we are born, and at the beginning there's words and logic when you get into this world, and you grab this words and grab that word and put those together to create the sentence and communicate. That's how the mind is developed. The brain, with the words and logic, is playing the game. And the game is set up in such a manner that you learn from parents and friends early on. Maybe watching TV and you learn from the TV. And there may be a scene of the violence, or, there's hero, but there's also villain. So you pick up those and then start to think, oh, this is the world, and that's how you play the game. It's programmed into you. You have this operating system which may be much more simple, clean, but you add it. And when you saw your parents doing something even illogical or not morally wrong, morally wrong, not to know if they are those tendencies. When you're little, you grab those things. Why do I say that? Do I know that? I don't know. I just intuitively, and for that reason, we get biased, ego, self-centeredness developed, And if you think there's a free will with a self-centeredness, I don't know, that's dangerous. Don't we see the dangers related to that? Maybe my logic is not as clear. Tonight I was usually spend a little time to watch YouTube, and there was the video of Sapolsky talking with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And those two people, I've known the Sapolsky, I've watched the Neil Tyson video, and they are straight talkers. I didn't watch it because I knew what they're gonna say. I don't need to look, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll put into the description. Yeah, that might be a good idea. So because it's not me talking, and let's check what they say and be humble. We won't have a warm heart and compassionate sense. Do we have it? If you have a free will, how many people have free will and orient our life toward the direction of may all beings be happy? Because we don't have a free will and it's so difficult. That's why we want to do something even very difficult, very, very difficult. That's what I think. Well, it's 11 o'clock. I was gonna go to sleep, but this thought popped up. I wanted to put in word and maybe get some comment. May all beings be happy. Let's go for it. Thank you.